I guess let's go straight into it. So I'll just ask them what game it is.
Kevin won game
Kevin
one.
won game one. So
this is game two.
So I guess we're going straight into another set. This is Kevin on UR Phoenix and Scraul on UU Control. Let me just load the deck list real quick.
So since this is post-board, Scraul presumably has a bunch of Mercantile Accords and 3 Soul Gates. Might also have some Ridge Wardens, potentially.
Yeah, I think, like, Merc Accords shuts down Phoenix, but not as hard as it shuts down Xi'an's Phoenix deck, because Xi'an's Phoenix deck is all cantrips, while, like, Kevin could potentially...
Yeah, but if you choose one, this deck loses, like, all of its finding. It loses, like, half of its burn.
Mm-hmm.
It can't cast enough spells to return a Miyoka Firebird or to make Union Rail scary. Post-board, that also hoses Isochron Wand, right?
Isochron Wand is 2.
It also hoses...
So they could potentially... Oh, wait.
Yeah, but you can't cast the copies.
So, yeah, Kevin would just have to, like, festival. Would definitely have to find a festival for it. Yeah. I guess, like, you could just start casting your Phoenixes manually, but that's exactly where Control wants you to be, where they're just like, okay, sure, take your time.
One thing that I think is super relevant, by the way, is that most of... Reweave Reality being a prophecy hit off the Seek is really awesome.
Oh, another thing is that another interaction that we saw is that what is the counterspell? Foreseen Denial, reveal Reweave Reality.
So the thing
then cast.
The thing I was going to say about this deck is also the fact that it's blue-white. Most of its removal is exile-based, which makes the game plan of I'm going to attack you with recursive threats a lot less scary.
Yeah, unfortunately, like, Glare of Dawn doesn't do anything unless it's reprisal, unless it's reprising Bard. So they probably sided that out.
Oh, there's the Merc Accords.
They dropped Merc Accords?
Yep. Okay. This game isn't over, but it's definitely now solidly in Scraul's favor. I think this is going to buy Scraul enough time, is kind of the bottom line.
Because, like, Kevin needs to get up to enough mana to both have Festival of Winter's Night and have enough mana to, like, do something meaningful on that turn.
Yeah. Has to, like, end step Festival, untap, do other things.
Okay.
Technically...
Amulet of Loyalties feels, like, kind of interesting here. Like, what are Scrawl's win con? I guess Scraul could have Ridge Warden, which is, like, a win con that just kind of gets in there, but then, like...
Also, I guess it's okay with the Dragon Queen. It's like,
You can repeatedly fog the Dragon Queen, which is hilarious.
And with Marie, it's like, okay, sure, I'll start creating some angels.
Yeah, Mary sucks versus that card very thoroughly. The other thing it's really cool against is Soulgate has to be immediately used, which if you've ever played against a Tormod script as a graveyard deck, you know that the, like, pressure of, oh my god, they could activate this thing and wipe out my graveyard, and they can do it at the worst possible moment for me, is like a huge pressure. And being able to say, sure, you have your Soul Gates, but they're only usable immediately, because otherwise I will activate it and I will target you with it.
Yeah, because the whole point of Tormod is just drop it early and don't have to worry about it. It's just always going to be there. Okay, so window shopping. Is this main phase window shopping? Yeah, that was main phase window shopping, and now what is Kevin? He's Mindstorm's eyeing Scrawl. Okay.
Yeah, so the reason this was a main phase window shopping is Scrawl just really wanted to find lands, I think.
They're on 5 lands. How many more lands do you need?
6. Cast your finishers.
Oh yeah, okay.
Oh shit, Mercurio's Familiar getting in the graveyard there is... Although Digic Starlit Raise is kind of strange. Why wouldn't... Oh no, this is end step of Kevin's turn. Okay, never mind.
Window shopping, finding...
All of those decisions make sense.
Timely reinforcements is very good here.
I mean, it's only a gain 5, right?
Gain 6, and then you
Gain
and then you
six.
make 3 soldiers, which end
Nope.
up being your win cost. So.
It does not make any soldiers here because you do not control fewer creatures than your
Oh
opponent.
yeah, 0 and 0. Okay, then never mind. Time.
It's 3 mana, gain 6, which is kind of like counter the next 2 bolts your opponent plays.
Because I think like right now the big way that Scrawl loses here is just getting.
Whoa, what is this?
Whoa, what is he doing?
Huh? Are these the files?
Timely isn't that scary. You have a. I mean, okay, no, actually, never mind. It kind of is because if Kevin has a land drop, he has a 2 mana card in graveyard, right? So if no, because then his opponent just has a disseminate open.
That's what I thought too. But remember, marker chords.
Oh, Mark.
Well,
Oh, right,
Mark
right.
being symmetrical.
Wow. Okay, then
Tried to jump in, but
still the bewitching vapors. Like you're giving your opponent the tool to deal with your plan. So there's basically 2 cards here that fuck up your plan.
Give Scrawl bewitching vapors in the hopes that they'll bewitching vapors their own marker chords.
That's next level. I would never see the line.
And yeah,
Big brain.
Also, should we do a roll call since we have multiple people who have added to the call since?
Sure. So, hi, I'm Caillou.
Hello, I'm Pipsqueak.
Hi, I'm PK.
Hey, I'm just nobody, JN.
longer.
And then we have Matt, well-seasoned Pyromancer, CFD Sock, and David, who are all on mute right now, but who are listening in.
So yeah, this plan is a very good plan to take that to take the bewitching vapors out of Scrawl's hand and gain Kevin 5 life. But that's kind of all it is.
Are there any other phoenixes in the graveyard right now?
I think there's a Miyoga.
We can ask Kevin.
Well, repeatedly taps and untaps the window shopping. Slightly passive aggressive.
Okay. And yeah, you're right. I guess Scrawl does have the mana next turn to just cast Marie or Serena. But then again, with Amulet of Loyalties, they don't do much.
Mary's really bad. Serena is good for one major reason. It steals the amulet.
Oh, yeah, okay.
Oh, yeah.
Wait, can you activate? Oh, you know, you can activate the exile effect. No, wait, how does that work?
In response, and then she returns to the battlefield and steals the amulet.
Yeah, okay.
One way or another, she gets that amulet. But yeah, that means Scrawl is down to, assuming we don't know what's up with the Ridge Warden situation, Scrawl is down to 1 viable win con in that deck.
I don't think Serena can stay on the battlefield through Amulet. You can always activate her Flicker in response to the ETB.
If you have an infinite amount of mana, that is absolutely true.
Kevin only has 4, so unless he gets 2 more land
that
drops...
point,
This is true, I guess.
Because it enters at the next end step, so it'll come back and immediately grab the amulet.
Right, so for 6, it would take 6 mana per turn
Yeah.
to keep it off the field.
So if you have that, yes, she can't take the amulet. However, I have a distinct feeling that is not the circumstance we will be seeing the 20 land deck generate.
Okay, so on end step, Kevin is... Oh, he's just going for the throat here.
21 land.
Rogs.
Yep, nope, that's correct.
Wait, can Kevin kill Scrawl next turn? What does Scrawl have in hand again? Like...
Well, I mean, Scrawl always has the ability to 3 mana and sacrifice Merc Accords to gain 5 life via Bewitching Vapor.
Yeah.
Is that really the plan? To make Scrawl answer Merkle?
If that actually ends up being like the thing that has to happen, that'll be hilarious. But wait, actually, I guess I guess the way that Kevin, that we know right now, Kevin can kill Scrawl is by using Mercurius Familiar, and Scrawl would just use Bewitching.
And that's not going to fly in the face of... Like, basically, if Kevin draws a Storm Surge, Kevin can force Scrawl to burn the Merc Accords and the Bewitching Vapors. But then, even though that then opens up a window for Kevin to then use Merc's Familiar, it opens up Scrawl to being able to use Disseminate again. So Kevin has 2 layers of bullshit to get through.
And Scrawl is about to counter the Scrawl Expensive, it looks like. So not even going to mess with getting in range.
I don't disagree with that. I think that's correct.
Yeah, especially with 6 cards in hand.
It would exit. Would this be ArcGen?
Is not running ArcGen, I don't think.
It would probably be Foreseen Denial. Scroll's not running ArcGen. Because I was going to say ArcGen would exile it, but it would also ramp up.
Yeah, I mean, I think this is the problem with running a not ArcGen counter magic suite. But... Because when it comes to answering Rogars, you really want to answer that forever. Also, same thing is true for
Scrawl doesn't have
Mercurial
answers for multiple creatures other than just Cyrena, right? As hilarious as it is, just Rog's tokens getting in for Rog's tokens, and then they can play. But Timely Reinforcements is gone. And how many copies do they have? They only have 1 copy. So you don't even have to worry about Timely.
They only have 1 copy.
So yeah, Rog's tokens just kind of wins here. Okay, so Foreseen Denial.
Revealing that. Rog's tokens can go a fair bit, but Rog's tokens are a very slow clock, and one that Scrawl does have interaction for.
Fair, but then is Scrawl, other than Marie, Scrawl doesn't have a way to kill. Scrawl has to burn cards, and they can't counter the Rog's ability either, so they're just kind of sitting there welp.
I mean, Scrawl does have to spend cards, but Scrawl is up on cards right now.
But I'm just
a couple sacrifices.
How much removal do they have? Let's say assuming they kept Glare of Dawn in, they have 3 Disseminate, 2 Shield's Rebuttal, 2 Glare of Dawn, and then Bewitch. So if they're willing to spend up Bewitching Vapors,
3 Bewitching Vapors.
And then,
if they kept any Setting Suns, if they kept any, they didn't keep any Void Life Orbs. I hope some Setting Suns wouldn't be shocking. Some Ridge Wardens wouldn't be shocking.
Okay, actually, yeah, Ridge Warden is actually just damning versus the token.
I think this is absolutely a matchup. The more I think about it, the more Ridge Warden feels like an absolutely correct card to bring in here. Although it does die to all the bolts, which feels kind of awkward.
I'm a little surprised Kevin didn't try to go for just paying 1 for Disseminate. Forcing a different card out of Scroll.
On NCF,
I think actually Kevin hitting that. Oh, well, no, Scroll has acknowledged that might be a huge punt, so I think it's fine.
Oh, okay. If you say it, it's fine.
What game is this, actually?
I just want everyone to picture the real-life equivalent of Kevin just staring Scroll dead in the eye and saying, resolves. Because I think that's just what happened.
With Kevin's profile picture?
Yeah, you know that moment in the FNM where you're like, I got him, and you target their creature with a removal spell, or you try to spell pierce their thing, and they just look at you and they're resolves, and you're like, man, that probably means I made a mistake somewhere.
I think Scrawl might have been worried about some instant speed burn when they were tapped out.
Scrawl now has...
You think that that's the punt they thought they had just committed?
Probably. Because you're thinking about having to hold Vapors for Phoenix?
Yeah, because you can't use Disseminate. And you can't counter it. And from known information, Kevin has...
So here comes
okay.
Scrawl is taking it out to play Mari.
So Marie minus.
Minus to create a...
Yeah, which protects from Phoenix.
Then you go Rogar's token, you untap, you reanimate Phoenix, you, I don't know, swing.
Let's find out.
I mean, you can still threaten to kill Scraul unless he chump blocks. And you still get 2 damage through. And then Marie has to immediately downtick again, and you can immediately do your thing again. Like, unless Scraul is packing another Disseminate, I think this is a huge misplay.
Disseminate.
Like, it's a double Disseminate.
Sorry, not Disseminate. Bewitching Vapors. My bad.
I don't have the mana up for that, though.
Oh yeah, no, he doesn't die this turn. He can chump block and get out of this. But I think this Mary is just going to be eating 2 Phoenix activations. I think that's all. Specifically because Kevin hit 5 mana. Because 5 mana means he can exile the multiple 3-drops he has in Graveyard and swing with a 6/2 Hasty Phoenix, which forces the Angel to block every single time. And in fact, sneaks in 2 damage, probably. Whoa. Why is Kevin not reanimating Phoenix?
That's
Does
weird.
he not realize that he can?
It's possible that he missed it in his graveyard, like he forgot about
See,
it.
the thing is, I specifically asked him, because I wanted to know, like, what Phoenixes he had in his graveyard. I asked him. So,
Yeah. To be fair, that was like 10 minutes ago.
He might be playing optimistic and hoping that Scroll just didn't block, but I don't think that was going to happen.
Oh, yeah. Okay.
Or he could have 4 points of burn in hand.
Can he? Like, I think the only way he has 4 points of burn in hand
Suspend
and he
Storm
doesn't
Surge,
play
Mind
4
Surge
points
not.
of burn.
Yeah. Orchestrate plus a Rogars. Get him.
Or maybe he was hoping to, like, or now he's gonna, like, Mindstorm Zai and hope to get another Rogars. And hope that
Or he
either
could
gets countered.
just Mindstorms on Mary.
Or is there something we're not saying with the Phoenix? Oh.
Interesting.
Okay, so now he does have the mana. What are the last 2 cards in his hand? Oh
Yeah.
no.
Yeah, this is exactly what was going to happen.
Okay, so he's paying for it.
So he wants to draw a
I
card?
think he doesn't have anything else he can do, and he doesn't want to.
Why is he giving Scrawl the opportunity to reset? Because Scrawl doesn't want America Chords on 1 anymore. Like, you're out of the stage of the game where America Chords on 1 is good. It's locking you out to Disseminate. You probably want America Chords on, like, 3?
Oh, but
Because
you can
then,
assume
I mean,
that
it
the
shuts you
reason
off
that
Bewitching.
he wanted to bounce that is that the 2 cards in his
But-
hand are probably face burn, right? Like,
Yeah, maybe, like, double Unceasing Flames or something? Scorch
yeah,
Unceasing
Scorch,
Flames?
Unceasing Flame, something like that.
I guess you just gotta go for it, but I feel like the line of bouncing that at your opponent's end step and trying to tie up their mana and then doing something with, with Phoenix, like,
I think Kevin
Yeah,
was just
Scrawl has a
hoping they didn't
flyer.
have a 2-mana counterspell and they were just bluffing, because I think letting them untap and
I guess.
because they'll probably just hold up like Reweave Reality, but like I don't know.
I mean,
There's
still,
also
every
something-
counterspell you get out of your opponent's hand in this deck, you have to get it out of their hand some way or another.
Okay, so Scrawl disseminates the other.
I was also thinking that
Which means there's no Disseminate live again. Unless Mercury Chords is going back to 1. Okay. Scrawl has decided that he really doesn't want or need Disseminate.
And going to another. So that's next turn. Kevin's dead. No, actually, it's one.
Yeah.
Is that 1 life off next turn? Yeah, it's 1 life off. Kevin's dead next turn.
Yeah.
So Kevin is on a 2-turn clock here. If Kevin has another Festival of Winter's Night here, that would be insane.
Just noting, it looks like if Kevin uses either Crystal Cavern, that leaves them dead to Angels next turn. Oh, but they got the basic right there.
But
yeah.
you probably still don't want to be
Triple
drawing
runners.
lands here.
I mean,
well, that's 2 basics, so
Tapping 3,
Crystal
is that
Cavern's
another
no longer matters.
Festival of Winter's Night? Come on, don't leave us in suspense here. What's going on?
Don't we know that Scrawl has the cancel in hand still?
Oh, fine. Oh,
Oh, yeah, so this is what I was going to mention earlier, that with Scrawl at 4, 1 mana spells made Mercutio's lethal.
okay. So then Scrawl is forced.
That was
to-
relevant before for double Disseminate.
Well, Disseminate can't be cast right now.
Yeah, that's why I said it was. That's why I said it was relevant before.
Mm.
Flashing it back and casting it was a possibility.
Now Scrawl has to have Bewitching Vapors or just chump with the Angel.
Yeah, always jump with the Angel. Always an option. You still have the clock on.
It's totally at Marie, bro.
Brain.
Okay, so the Angels trade. So Kevin is now on a 3-turn clock, which is better, I suppose. Oh.
Ooh.
Rising Bard.
Oh.
Well, you don't want to grab a 1-drop with that.
Yeah, what is he? Oh,
He'll be very
Mindstorm.
sad.
He's gonna grab Mindstorm's Eye. Okay.
Yeah.
Scrawl probably has counters though.
Yeah, Scroll has counter magic. I'm pretty sure we still know he has that Reweave Reality.
Scrawl's on 2 cards in hand.
Is that prophesized?
Oh no, apparently he binned that Reweave Reality.
Okay. So Scrawl, that's Reprising Resolve.
I think Scroll is on 4. Like, a single Mindstorms does not do it here.
Oh.
Oh no.
That's unfortunate.
Uh-oh.
Mindstorm's Eye for CMC1. That would be insane.
1 generic mana.
Just bold but casually better. Yeah, okay. Sounds legit.
No, but you have to discard your hand.
Oh yeah, totally. Mimi big downside.
Mindstorm's Eye is an entirely reasonable card. It's Lightning Strike, which is balanced, Staple to Ancestral Recall, which is also balanced.
One of those things is
Oh.
not like the other.
Alternatively, it's Ancestral Recall, Staple to a Bolt, Staple to a 1 with nothing.
Mhm.
That scans.
Are they planning to block this Reprising Bard with the Angel?
I hope not.
Like,
They might be holding it back more for another Phoenix.
Actually,
oh yeah, Fiend.
yeah, no, you want to hold it back for
Yeah.
the Phoenix. That's totally correct. You let the Angel, you let the Bard. Oh wait, no, it's not a dies trigger. I was gonna say you let it hit you, and then you exile it, and it's like no, then it's not fine. That is not how Bard works. If Bard was a dice trigger, this GP would look somewhat different.
Hmm.
I'd expect more Chains of Subdual, probably. Or wait, does Chains of Subdual already hit Bard? I don't know.
It does hit its ETB.
Okay.
So,
And it's leave
Okay,
the
so
battlefield.
Mercurio's coming out.
oh right.
So now Scrawl will be going down to 2 for sure. Or actually, not for sure. They could have like Shields Clear. So you're going down to 2 or 1, whichever happy coincidence.
I mean, you have to ask, you legally speaking have
I'm
to
just
ask.
imagining,
wait.
you know that meme where it's like the picture of like the face pointing at themselves? Just like, huh?
Oh, Bard is actually playing.
Oh, okay.
I think that's dubious to. Well, I mean, Mary can make another Angel next turn, I guess.
If the trade happens.
Oh, okay.
Oh, never
Bewitching
mind.
Vapors.
Man, at this stage of the game, I definitely save Bewitching Vapors as a game 5. I don't know about you guys.
Oh,
Like, you're just trying to.
Yeah.
Well, I mean, this permanently answers the Mercs, I guess. That's definitely worth it.
and now, I guess, do they just let? Do they
How many
let Marie
vapors
die?
does Scroll on?
I think you let you. I think you let. No, oh, nope. Okay, they're blocking.
Oh, okay.
So he is going to 1 All right.
It's going to 1 and giving the player that runs a bunch of burn 3 draws.
Yeah, but how much burn does
So,
how much
I hope
burn does
Scrawl
Kevin
has-
have left? So that's 2 mind. Oh, sorry. How many Mind Storm Side does he have left in deck? How many Rocks does he have left in deck? Because there's only live burn spells.
5.
He's running
Also
3
Storm
Roggers, 4 Eye, 4 Storm Surge.
And he's cast 1 or 2 eyes this game.
Well, why do you have to target before drawing?
Yeah.
Oh.
Oh, yeah.
Okay.
Yep.
Reweave reality.
That makes sense.
That's okay. Yeah. Okay.
All the outs covered. Okay, this makes a little more sense in context now, because now Mari is still a clock and can pump out another angel in 2 turns.
Or next turn, you just kill Marie, put another angel on the board. Yep.
Yeah,
So,
that's true.
friendship ended with Marie, or for an angel token, my best friend. And now Kevin has 2 more turns to live. Oh, main 2, tapping 3. What are you playing? Oh god, another no. That just might end it.
This goes
put
on
it
3, right?
I don't think Kevin has any counter magic.
That's
in his
rough.
deck, dude.
Yeah, I mean, why?
Yeah,
Okay.
Okay, now I think Scrawl's in a good spot.
Yeah, Scrawl wins in 2 turns, and Kevin
Literally
only wins
only
if he
Rocks.
draws 2 Rocks. Or actually,
His
no,
only
sorry.
2 Rogs.
Oh no, Festival Winter Night is dead. Yeah, his only 2 Rocks. Or wait, actually, Scrawl is probably going to keep an angel up just in case. No, actually, no. There's no reason to do that. Never mind. Wait, does Kevin have any way to bin Phoenixes for 2? Let me look.
Yeah. There's not.
Yeah, no. So Scrawl, I think, should have just swung off some both.
I mean, still the same clock.
I guess, yeah. Oh, is that he's going to end? That doesn't bode well.
It's like before combat, Rogs.
That would be hilarious. All 1 drops.
Oof.
oh,
I think he was hoping Scrawl would attack with just 1 more.
Oh, that was game 2.
Yeah,
Gotcha.
so we'll probably keep the sideboarding about the same.
That's a lot of Unceasing Flames you have to take out of your deck there. This is why I just always reload a deck and just re-add the sideboard cards. Just reboard.
Why is
It's
Scrawl
fine.
3 at 70? Or are they mid-sideboarding? I guess it's mid-sideboarding, actually. I think, despite that game 2, I think Kevin is still pretty favored going into game 3.
Yeah, I think Kevin was favored for most of that game, but just kind of had a unlucky series of decisions or draws and didn't capitalize on Scrawl's misplays enough.
And almost, I think, to an extent, wasn't given the opportunity to do so. And Scrawl is... Okay, I thought Scrawl had ball up there, but no. Scrawl just draw their initial hand. Okay, but they are mulling. Which is probably fine, because I think... You want to find, like, not very specific things, but you want to find, like, generally specific things versus this deck. I think Scrawl just, Scrawl did shuffle. Oops, so that doesn't bode well. So.
that's
Oh, I assume it's a very close hand in a bunch of different. My best explanation, at least.
Reiterates that he is in fact keeping his hand. I guess what would the evaluation be of stuff that you want to keep versus stuff that you're okay with bottoming? Like, I guess you want to keep market boards. You want to keep some removal.
You actually don't want to keep finishers. You run fetch lands, and you just don't want them in your hand until you have the game very much locked up.
Yeah, for sure.
Because they're dead cards for the first 6 lands.
Market Chords isn't really a finisher, though. It's a lock piece.
Yeah, no. I was saying separately from those. I agree with Market Chords. You want to keep that.
I wonder if Kevin bumping up to... Kevin going to 19 life is a deliberate choice. He's like, yeah, I know I'm going to play this paint land. Preemptively paying for it. And... Okay, so what is he going to bin? Mindstorm's Eye. Ooh, that's actually surprising. And Scorch. Because Mindstorm's Eye is just very good. Maybe he just doesn't have the lands to cast it, or he already has a copy or something. I don't know.
Yeah, I was going to say the best reason to discard a Mindstorm's Eye is you already have a Mindstorm's Eye. Because it's not like you're going to be able to keep both of them.
Scrawl with the classic tap land and pass. Okay, tapping out for Reprising Bard. That's also a good reason to bid. Yeah, also a good reason to bid on this side. I guess technically Mindstorm's Eye is now it'll be a -1 over here, but I think in general just holding on to that Mindstorm's Eye after Reprising Bard is good.
How's it a -1?
Oh god. And Scrawl plays another tap land. That means the only possible interaction they could have here is Disseminate, which is not good.
Kids, this is why you don't play this many tap lands. I respect a lot of Scroll's deck building decisions, but I think this mana base is very much showing a clunk.
Yeah, I think I less so respect Scrawl's deck building decisions, but I do think they have some good ones. Okay, Unceasing playing defense.
I'm very willing to acknowledge that Scroll deck builds in a fashion that I don't fully understand.
Deck building cryptid.
Based on the last GT's success, I'm unwilling to say it's not good.
Though I think Tronfish, it felt to me like a deck which was solid, but also just kind of managed to dodge lots of the hate that it normally would get hit by in the format. Okay, Fields Rebuttal.
Possibly, yeah. I think a lot of people didn't bring enough hate.
Okay, so in response, what is Kevin? Is he gonna? Oh, is he gonna Festival of Winter's Night his own Reprising Bard?
No, just 2. Probably just Roggers.
Oh yeah. Is this on?
Yeah, Scroll, that's relatable.
Yeesh, okay. So Scrawl is gonna go down to 10 life here. Meanwhile, Kevin will gladly go back up to 20.
And refill a bit on juice. Any good bins?
Yeah, I'm very excited to see like a Mercs or Neoga hit the bin here.
Nope.
Fire Geysers.
I think Kevin is really underrating Starlit Rays in this matchup. Like, it's kind of difficult to land, but that card pretty much cuts Scrawl off of mana. Scraul does not run that many base ups.
I mean, why
And
would
this
you
is
say
the
he's
second
underrated?
game that
He
we've
boarded
seen
it in and
Kevin.
probably would have been able to. He was like en route to play it next turn if Scraul hadn't removed Reprising Bard.
I guess. I mean, last game he also discarded it pretty early. I don't know.
Was that to Mindstorms or was that to like Wheat?
I'm trying to remember if it was the Mindstorms or not. It's possible I'm misremembering. I guess my point is sometimes you can just hold on to the Mindstorm's Eye to get more value out of it. And I think it's frequently worth doing that if you have cards in your hand that you're kind of considering playing at some point.
But in this case, like, straight up didn't. I guess the choice was they could have put Scorch under Reprising Bard, which I think that's...
Yeah, put Scorch or Unceasing Flames, both of which would be fine.
They didn't have Unceasing Flames, so they cast Reprising Bard.
Well, they cast Wheat from Chaff to discard 2 things, so we don't know what was in their hand. They cast Unceasing Flames a couple turns after, so we don't know just how they sequence their stuff.
Okay, so tapping for Storm Surge. And then are they just going to pass and then, like,
what else we got?
In? Nope, okay. Unceasing Flames, so hit for 6 damage to the face?
6.
6 damage, but more 4. Okay, so Kevin is now up to 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Kevin is up to 8 lethal top decks, given that there's 8 Unceasing Flames in the deck right now.
Or maybe Kevin has that lethal
so that's only
card in
17%.
hand, he just has another Unceasing in hand right now.
Also possible.
He's tapping out for
This rocks.
probably, right? Oh no.
Oh no. Oh,
Oh,
does
boy.
this grab? Does this grab an Unceasing
grab another?
No, yeah.
Probably.
Yeah, Mindstorms.
I mean, oh no, Mindstorm's Eye feels way better. That's totally correct. Because Unceasing Flames is only 3 damage and increases the number of lethal top decks by like 3. But it kind of feels like overkill because this also increases the number of lethal top decks by a lot since, you know, you're casting another 3 damage burn spell.
Peek aheads. Yeah, Scrawl. I think we all know the feelings. Yeah. I mean, I think it would still be an unfavorable position for Scrawl because whatever. You might sell Mindstorm's Eye that time. I just grab Scorch this time. Like, okay. Does Scrawl is still not hit? Was that all turn 3, or has Scrawl just not hit their 3rd land drop yet?
No, I think Scrawl missed his 3rd land drop.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh, could he be missing this one too? Could they be missing this one?
If Scrawl is missing this one, I think Scrawl just loses the game. Like actually, okay. A legitimate question. What? Oh, Soul Gate. You can Soul Gate. Can you Soul Gate? Okay.
Oh, well, that eats an Unceasing Flames.
It eats
Or not?
Unceasing Flames.
It's gonna eat a couple Unceasing Flames. Oh, whoa! It's only exiling 1 card?
Oh,
Because if you exile the Unceasing Flames, it goes down to like the number of lethal top decks drop.
Yeah, like you just
severely.
don't die.
but Bard
I
also
guess-
sticks right
so,
now.
Yeah, actually, like Unceasing Flames.
Scroll's
not
it.
exiling Unceasing Flames feels like a punt.
Oh no! I lied. I totally lied because there's a Bard on the field. So even if Unceasing Flames is a shock, that's still lethal. So you're just hoping to fade it.
So Kevin
So
has this
you're
top
hoping the
deck and he has
Scry 1 is more valuable. Yeah, Scroll is just that here.
Okay.
Hey,
Oh,
left card.
yeah. There it is.
There's the lethal top deck.
All right.
game set.
Wait. Okay, wait, what do you mean, wait? No! Kevin, not like this.
Oh my god! Get him.
Oh,
boy.
you,
How lethal is
what
this
does
lethal?
Scrawl do to you, Kevin? You
This
don't have
is why
to
we
do
need to
them
print
like
a
this.
bard that can be cast for this is why we need to cast a stifle that can be print a stifle that can be free cast. Alright. I'm gonna step out. That was a lot of fun.
Glad to have you.
Yep, I'm gonna be out too.
Okay, see you, Monger.
Good luck with the interviews. Potentially.
Let's see if they're oh god, Scrawl's hand. Merca chords, window shopping, or seem to now reconsider bewitching wafers and timely reinforcements. Yeah, I guess that's why it was such a hard key for Scrawl, because they had so much to do, but they needed to get up to a third land. And I guess being on the draw, Kevin being able to drop Reprising Guard before they could have like a magic online, that just kind of ended the game. Oh, I think that's Norton. Hi, Kevin.
Hello.
So Scrawl is having some issues with the mic, so I think what was likely to happen is that Scrawl, like, you can just type here, because it's specifically for voice chat texting and it won't spam the rest of the server. So, yeah, Scrawl is probably going to answer through text, but we're just going to be talking here.
Sure, no problem. So, what have you guys talked about?
Nothing, we've just been trying to, like, troubleshoot Scrawl's mic, honestly. Okay, so I want to hear about sideboard philosophy from each of you, starting with Kevin and then going to Scrawl. Or you can type, Scrawl, you can type up while Kevin's talking and then I can just read it out at that point. But, yeah, so what are you thinking when you're sideboarding?
So, there was a bit of a difference in sideboarding between Game 2 and Game 3's. Here, let me just pull up the list so I just want to make sure I've got it right. Okay, here we go. So I ended up bringing in Amulet of Loyalties for the Walker and Serena, Starlit Rays because Starlit Rays is so good here, and I along with Icecrown Wand because I figured it would go longer if I can land that early. That's a lot of value, especially on like an Unceasing Flames, and then Festival of Winter's Night. The 4 chords I know he was going to bring in. What I ended up taking out was I took out the Strike Breakers Game 2, but ended up bringing them back Game 3 because I thought I saw like the board wipes and whatnot. I just didn't feel it would be that impactful. I also cut the Firebirds because I thought he would have more graveyard hate, and the Exile stuff doesn't line up well against that. I left in the Familiars because the Familiars can just happen whenever, really, while the Firebirds require some setup. Besides that, just kind of narrowed down on the 1 CMC burn spells. Game 2, after Game 2, I ended up just completely cutting the wands because... So, towards the end of that game, my hand was Scorch, Icecrown Wand, Unceasing Flame, while he had a Mercantile Accords in play.
Yeah.
Which is big. That's a bit of an oof. Yeah, so I ended up bringing back in the Strike Breaker so I could at least get some value if things were, countered. Yeah, I thought about bringing in the Performer of Desire, but really all of his stuff is exile-based, so that doesn't really line up that well. Yeah, I think that's about it in terms of like sideboarding stuff.
Okay. I guess Scrawl's typing up their sideboarding rationale right now. I know earlier they said that my sideboard is a D-. But even then, I think it's valuable to hear, even in limited circumstances. Or I guess how you sideboard now and how you would look to change your sideboard in the future if you were to resubmit this deck list.
Oh, like
No,
how?
specifically for Scrawl, because Scrawl, they were like saying they didn't like their sideboard or whatever. But I guess, yeah, for you too, like, what would you change, if anything, in your sideboard? Like, stuff that you found to be more valuable than you initially evaluated, stuff like that.
I mean, you were there for my last game. Well, for the last round, probably like spell stutters or something, just to be able to hit like some of the big things that just shut this deck off, like a turn 3 villainy, turn 3 mercantile accord, etc. Really, possibly up the Starlit Rays by 1 and add in Mercury Dissident, I think it's called, the one that
Oh, yeah, for
pings.
Landstorm?
For Landstorm, for just games that go long, for the Mirror as well, like against a similar deck that just aims to cast a bunch of stuff, it can get a nice amount of down. Yes, for Landstorm, really. Because, yeah.
Yeah, actually, going into round 3, with 1 win and 1 loss each, you and Landstorm are in the same bracket, so you could play against each other in round 3.
No, don't say that. Don't say that. Why would you say that?
You know, sometimes just like letting things be the way they are is enough. Sometimes you have to jinx them into existence.
Absolutely. I guess so that's sideboarding. Just for the game itself, do you have any burning questions?
Any other burning questions about the games themselves? Not particularly, I don't think, because... Oh, actually, there was one question. There was the turn where instead of attacking face with both Mercs and Reprising, you attacked Reprising at his Marie, and then Mercs at face. And I think everyone in chat was kind of like, huh? Excuse me? What's going on here?
So, that was really just banking on, like, him not having another piece of removal just yet. So, the idea was, like, kill the walker, he'll block the familiar, and then the angel will be dead, he'll lose the walker, so then next turn I can just reanimate the phoenix and swing for him.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think it was like...
It ended up not mattering. It ended up not mattering because, he had it, but... Yeah.
He had both the removal for the Phoenix and the counterspell for Mindstorm's Eye.
Yeah. Oh, yeah, wait, I also brought in, I think, Amulet of Loyalties, because that shuts off Serena.
It shuts off Serena, it shuts off Marie. It's surprisingly annoying in this matchup. But we were discussing how to actually shut off Sirena, you need to have 6 mana, because otherwise Sirena will just grab your Amulet of Loyalties on ETB.
Oh, yeah, because she could steal it.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, the opening for Game 3 was kind of ridiculous. Like, I'm not gonna lie, if Scraul had the Disseminate for the Bard, I was just gonna scoop. Like, just right there.
Oh, ouch.
Like if he kills it while Bard is aiming at Mindstorm's Eye, but he didn't, and I was able to live the dream. Like,
oh, that was pretty crazy. That was like 10 damage on turn 3 or something.
Yeah, it's something ridiculous.
Yeah, and then of course, at the end I got to do a little bit of flexing by killing my own Bard, but
Yeah, that was just cruel.
the small things.
I should have opened up this interview with, so, Kevin, how does it feel to be a monster, a terrible person, just basically on the same level as a serial killer. You know, just in general.
Oh, it feels good. Oh,
But yeah, Accords on One. Yeah, I think Accords on One was still really good because it cuts off well, it doesn't cut off any of his creatures, but
oh yeah,
it
Accord on
cuts off all of
One.
his, his
Just
ability to dig. It cuts off all of his face burn. So once you don't have to worry, you don't have to worry about because you don't have any stabilization pieces really, in the sense of like life gain. So being able to cut off all his face burn is super important.
The scariest thing for me in that matchup has to have been the timely reinforcements. Like, if he had 2 or 3 of those, ooh.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, I think more life gain in the white for Scrawl. I'm not sure like what that would look like. I'm trying to think of what cards in our format. Just one more Bewitching Vapors so you can just target, because we were actually joking about that in voice. Like, so Scrawl is going to.
I mean, yeah.
Bewitching Vapors their own Mercantile Accords to gain 5 life if Kevin has like the burn here.
Yeah, like that's a valid option.
But yeah, I think what.
I'm surprised I won game 1, especially on a mold of 5.
Yeah, I think probably Seto-san in one of her variations is just how you get life gain into the deck. Just because I don't think that Cyrena. I think Cyrena is good, but like once you get to like 5 to 6 mana, you have lots of different options for win cons.
Yeah, also she's sorcery speed, which and then like that's what ended up killing him game 1 was tapping out for his big threat.
But I think like
being able to have something with flash definitely would be a better option.
I'm not sure like what win cons there are that are as impactful with flash, because like I know so Kip ran I know she ran Saya, and then Seto-san is just like another good one. This is a 4 mana one, but I was thinking about the 5 mana one. But like, yeah, in general, those are just the main win cons for blue white. I guess you could just try to go for like what do you call it? You could just try to go for like Cane Dancer and like other like flash creatures which get you value. That's like a less it's a slower clock, and I think that like in decks which don't have other hits, which like I think like in non-red decks, I'm not so sure about Cane Dancer as a win con. So actually, I'm thinking about Scrawl's deck, and I guess Scrawl's deck is like a very much like grind, like it looks like the point of the deck is like grind them out, like as hard a control as possible. So I guess in that sense, Cane Dancer does work.
Yeah.
Okay, so I just want because Scrawl, you definitely expressed like some disappointment about your sideboard. So, is there anything specific that you'd like to change, or even in general terms, what would you like add or take out from your sideboard next time you play this deck? Okay. Check out for specific matchups, but not enough general coverage. Yeah, I definitely feel like the too many 4 of Sing, because there's lots of times when like I'll play or like I'll just shove things into my sideboard and I'll be like, but what am I actually gonna want to side out to side in 4 copies? Like it's good, but it's not until like I sit down and like I'm actually like, okay, it's time to sideboard, that I'm like, oh, I don't actually want 4 copies of this, even though it's really good in this matchup.
Yes. By the way, how was chat going? Like, it looked like you guys had like 10 people or something at one point.
Yeah, it was pretty fun.
We had a bunch of people. I think the people who were talking was me, PK, Monger, Pip. That's about it, I think. Everyone else was like muted, but it was still dope, as in a milestone in MSEM history. It was mostly me and Pipsqueak going back and forth with Monger and PK offering commentary at times.
Yeah. What was like the general thoughts from the crowd? Like you mentioned the one moment with the splitting the heart attack.
Mm-hmm. I think in general it was just
anything else you guys really talked about.
The second game we were just like, as soon as like the second marker chords came down on 3, we were just like, ooh,
they're going out.
There he goes. There goes Kevin. Like,
yeah.
Game 2, one thing that we were thinking of is, or actually Pip specifically mentioned, and she was wondering actually if you were like in general, but specifically in this moment, whether you were underrating Starlit Rays. Because Starlit Rays versus Scrawl's deck really does just basically, it's just a giant win the game button. So when she saw that you discard Starlit Rays to it was like, well, you had to discard it to Mindstorm's Eye, but then she was thinking like, why didn't you put Scorch instead of Mindstorm's Eye there if you had? Because next turn you would have been able to basically tap out for a transformed or fabled Starlit Rays, and that just ends the game versus Scrawl.
Yeah, like in game 3 when he was already hurting on, it was basically a kick in the shin.
Oh, absolutely. Yeah, the issue was like the first one, it ended up being discarded to Mindstorm's Eye, and I guess I did just kind of get caught up in the idea of being able to Mindstorm's Eye a second time for free. So, but yeah, I do think I probably should have put one more on the sideboard, because yeah, that is just such a back-breaking card.
Yeah, let me look over
especially like
the meta. Like, I think
a lot of the field is
like it kills CFD Sock's deck. It kills Cyber's deck.
It hurts a lot of decks because mana bases here tend to get
actually, I'm just looking through this list, and at first I thought I would count how many decks it hits, and then I realized it would actually be better to count by how many decks it doesn't actually affect.
Yeah.
Like,
exactly.
Like, it cuts off Jan's deck from blue entirely.
Versus Monger's deck, it cuts him off every color ever.
Oh wait, which one is Monger's?
Monger is Angel Touched, so he has not a single basic land in his entire deck. Actually, he has one card he can play, and that's Imperial Titan at 7 mana. So I don't think you'd have to be worried about that.
Well, you'd have to get that in his grave first, though.
If he doesn't already have it in his grave, then it's just like, well, handshake game 2. Or sorry, game 3, or just if there's a bet.
Does this work?
Whoa, Scrawl!
No, holy cow. We're live. It is.
Wow, nice, finally.
Okay. So the thing that I tried the first time worked the second time, so I'm going to pretend that I'm just smarter this time around and not dumb the first time.
Oh wait, our Cajun and Cyber are actually playing their GP game. Oh, we're getting a lot of GP games this season.
What are you guys doing with the, are you guys uploading it to like a podcast, or is that the podcast a separate thing?
Separate thing. Podcast is run by Pip. This is something that I'm specifically doing because I was just thinking like, I want there to be more MSEM content, and then I realized, oh my god, I can just make more MSEM content. So yeah, I'm just planning to probably in about 2 or 3 weeks, once the tournament is over, just sit down one weekend, edit all of these, and then put them up on my YouTube channel. But mostly for the concept.
Nice, that would be awesome.
But yeah.
Also, the first one you do has to be that Landstorm game from last night. Just that.
I don't want that to be immortalized.
I just want to add,
Yes,
add like
it
circus
has
music to the background.
Yeah, add like the Benny Hill theme over it. Just,
I'm not sure if it would be funnier to like do clips with the circus music or just to put the circus music on loop for the full
Circus
50
music,
minutes.
But then it starts off like it just incrementally gets louder and bass boosted.
yeah, or the Jeopardy theme just do. And it never like hits the peak. It's just like the constant build up.
God.
This is the game that never ends.
Just go on and on and
Sometimes you think they're winning, not knowing what.
Oh yeah, I think we pretty much.
I don't know, that was really fun.